Sawadee krap. I'm Stuart J. Raj, and welcome to Thai Bites for Cracking Thai Fundamentals and J Academy. Today we're going to be looking at who, what, when, where, how, and why in Thai. And we'll be looking at how we can break away those shackles that the English language gives to these words, these WH question words, and give new life to our vocabulary in Thai. So to start this Thai bite off, we need to get a foundational understanding of some core words. Now let's go and have a look at this is from my Thinking and Meanings module from the online course, Cracking Thai Fundamentals course at J Academy. You can see this nai word here. What it is, nai is one in 11 key words. So for example, I've got this word here. Okay, so by here, we learn that by does not just mean to go, as many people think it does, but we're interested in this one here. Let me just click on it now as it loads up.
ไหน
So what we've done is the word nai there, and you can see here that we have the no I, nai, and it's this rising tone here. These glyphs are IPA glyphs, so it says it starts from low and goes higher, nai, and it's hooked in to this glyph, this picture here, which is a question mark, and it represents a generic question word. Now, if I click on this one here in the module, you'll be able to see, actually in Chinese, this word here is pronounced na, na, and it's a funny thing that this word, so I'll just write it under here, na and nai, they sound very suspiciously familiar. And this word here is actually he, and it's also another question particle, but basically this na or the nai particle in Thai forms the foundation for our WH question words. And these are words when we're asking open questions, not yes, no, closed questions. So just remembering now that we have this word nai here, this is our foundational WH word that we're going to attach to things in the future. Now, something I've just got to mention, and it might seem funny to Western language speakers because spelling is so important, and you think the spelling is almost set in stone sometimes. It wasn't always like that. But here we have nai done with an N. One thing we have to remember in many languages, especially in this part of the world, and it's actually something that happens all over the world, the letters N, N, R, and L. These three sounds are actually all produced from that palate there, the hard palate there, N, R, L, N, R, L. Actually, as a native speaker of English, if you say the word lip, lip, and the word pill. Have a look here. Pill and lip. If I say pill, supposing this is my teeth here, pill, and this is my teeth here, the word pill, my tongue curls up behind my teeth here, but in lip, my tongue will come out outside of my teeth in English. So if you've got an initial L in English, the tongue is normally lip, lip. It's either outside or on this part of your teeth, where pill, it rolls up inside. But in Thai and other languages around this part of the world, and even in other European languages, the R is this trilled R, and the L is also from the same place, and they're actually interchangeable in Thai. People will tell you there's a rolled R, R, and they'll especially tell the Falang to roll the R. But in reality, when Thai say it, the R, your R and L are basically the same sound in spoken Thai, and your tongue kind of makes it to that position and doesn't make it, and then again is from the same position. So we'll see a phenomenon happening where R, N, and L can often be interchanged, or one will take over from the other. That's an important point to remember as we go through the next few words. So now let's take a look at these key words in Thai. These are just some basic, simple vocabulary that many of you might know already, but the word kon, say it with me. Now notice this is not a non-aspirated K, but it's an aspirated. So now in English, you might say k, and it's more of a harder sound. In Thai, throw it back further in your throat, almost to a sound. So kon with a medium, a common tone, So this is the word kon, common tone, and it means person. Okay. An, an. Again, that's a common tone. So this is my tone marker there. An, sound like a robot when you say that. Kon, common tone. An, common tone. And it's a general word for a thing, and it's used as the counting or measure word for things in general. Now this word here, say it with me, tao, tao, tao. Now you'll notice that that tone's different. Tao, your throat starts tight and then falls down as your throat opens up. Tao. Now this is what tao means. This finger is tao, this finger. They are the same or equal to. So think of tao, tau, and that falling down here can remind you of that falling tone. Tau, to be equal to. My two fingers are tau gan. Gan is reciprocated, so tau gan or tau, to be equal to. This next word here, yang, this word is one of four words only in Thai to start with this or ang here. And or ang, you will learn in Cracking Thai Fundamentals, is the mascot for the throat or the middle class letters. And so yang, you see a may ek on there. The may ek knocks that throat down low, so it keeps it there. Yang. Now, if you speak Chinese or Japanese or even Korean, you know the hanja. You would know that this word here, yang, yang is a type, and it's actually pronounced yang in Mandarin, yang, or yang in Cantonese. It means a type or a manner. It's exactly the same meaning in Thai. Funny thing that. Now let's move quickly down to the next word. This is the word tam, tam. Now tam can, when you think of the word tam, just think of this action. Think of to do or to make. You are tam, you're doing something or you're making something, and it's this action verby word. Okay, so tam, and you can probably hear that. That's the same tone as hon, an, tam. That's this common tone right in the middle here, sounding like a robot. Tam, to do or to make. Now, this is an interesting word here. Mưa, mưa. Can you say it with me? Now, I've got this IPA symbol here. It's not a U, it's not anything. It's a smiley. Throw it into the back of your throat. If you want to learn the vowels, come into Cracking Thai Fundamentals and take the vowels module. But we have with a may ek, which puts it into a falling tone. The throat's tight and opens up. Tight, opens up. Falling tone, and means a time. Now you can actually use the word เมื่อ as in at what เมื่อ would you like to go? In classical Thai, you see it used a lot like that. So เมื่อ is at a place or a time. Now the next word here, we have the word ที่ you can probably hear that's the same tone as เมื่อ. It's a falling tone. So this may ek has thrown the low class t sound into a falling tone. T, and think of T as being a place. It can be the noun of a place. Tini, this place. Okay, so it's not just a preposition to say at, but think of T as a literal place. All these are nouns that I'm showing you here. Now the next word, trong, trong. You can see that I've got a T and an R here. Now, a funny thing in spoken Thai, and as we go through the modules, you'll learn that this TR actually in spoken Thai, consonant clusters, even though they're in the writing, and many Thais would like to believe they speak like that when they teach Falang how to speak Thai. The reality is trong becomes tong, tong, and you can see it's with a middle, this common tone. So trong or tong, tong. Most Thais will actually say when nobody's listening, tong, tong. Okay, so tong. I want you to think of this, shooting an arrow, and the arrow goes out psh, tong, into a point, and it's quivering in that target there. Okay, this is tong, tong, to a point. The arrow shoots out, psh, tong, straight, and that arrow is shooting right into the bullseye of the target. That's what I want you to feel when you think of the word tong. Just imagine that arrow, and it's with a common tone there. And then finally we have the word yo, and that's the second word here with the ang that's starting it. So yo, and I've got the may ek there just with the word yang. And once again, so it means to reside at a point with a low tone. And funny enough, just like yang is yang, you, we also have this word in Chinese, which is yu. And some people, you could use this one also. So yu, and funny enough, in Chinese, it's exactly the same meaning. Yu, I'll just write it in pinyin here. For those Chinese speakers, yu means at a place. And in Thai, I want you to think of the word your, maybe a hot air balloon that has these lead weights, just keeping it hovering from over a point. So it's not shooting up yet, it's just hovering at that place. It's residing at a place. Your, get that throat down low. It's got the may ek there, so it's a low tone, starts low and keeps low. So this is your, hovering at a place. And this just the same as the Chinese word yu, which is a preposition at a place or hovering at a place. Now, let's just go through those words once more. Kon, say it after me. Kon, an, tao, yang, ทำ เมื่อ ที่ ตรง อยู่ Okay, so you can stop this clip, go back and go over those words because now you're going to see the magic happen when we combine these words with that magic question particle. Da, 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 here we go. Let's see what happens when we put this nai particle here. So I'm just going to write this up here. We have nai, nai. You remember that? And that, just think of a big question mark when you think of the word nai. So let's put this question mark after each person. Person, question, so which person or who? คนไหน ใคร. And so we write the word ใคร like this. I'll put it in IPA there. ใคร, and that's with a common tone. ใคร an, a thing. อันไหน an, question, what thing or which thing, what. So we get อันไหน อะไร. Now you'll notice that these WH words in any language are often spelled irregularly because they're some of the most common words, and so the spellings end up getting morphed around as the pronunciations change because it's said so often. So อันไหน อะไร is what. And I'll just write that here. We have, often when you see something starting with the throat, they'll put a question mark saying close the throat first, but this is the word อะไร. So is low, อะไร what. Now the next word เท่า, you remember that word? เท่า, to be equal to. So to be equal to what? How much. So we have the word เท่าไหร่. So เท่าไหร่. Sometimes you'll see it written เท่าไหร่ with a low tone, but here we go. เท่า falling tone, and ไหร่, the nai becomes ไหร่. เท่าไหร่. Now, the next word, we have อย่าง, a manner, in a style, a way, or a manner. So อย่างไหน, in what manner, in which manner, or how. So often you'll see this, you'll see it written as อย่างไร, อย่างไร. And I'll just write that here. Yang, I use the J from IPA, so it's yang, and that's a sound. Yang-rai, and you'll often hear this pronounced yang-ai, and actually people might write it as an abbreviated yang, like this, yang-ai. Your Thai teacher, if you have a formal Thai teacher and you write that way, they'll slap you across the wrist. But the reality is, when you're typing or you're just sending a quick message to each other and it's not a formal writing, many Thais will write it yang-ai, but it's actually yang-rai. Now the next word, ทำ, to do or to make. So ทำไหน, ทำไม, the it's all nasal sounds, so this jumps up to the front. ทำไหน, ทำไม. So done in what way, for what reason, or why. So ทำไม we can write here ทำไม ทำไม why. My apologies for the handwriting there too. Sometimes when we write with the pen here on screen, I'm using a bamboo here. It's a little bit awkward to write. Now the next one, เมื่อ at a time. So เมื่อไหน at which time or when. So เมื่อไหน เมื่อไหร่. So I'll just write here เมื่อไหร่ and it's written as เมื่อ with a falling tone ไรเมื่อไหร่ when. Next one ที่ at T is a place, so ที่ไหน at which place or ที่ไหน you'll hear those put together is where, so I'll write them here ที่ไหน is where, and you've got the IPA there already. Now, one thing is when Westerners, or Thais would say when Falang come in and learn Thai, the first thing they'll say is maybe where is the bathroom, and the Thai will teach them ห้องน้ำอยู่ที่ไหน ห้องน้ำอยู่ที่ไหน. And so as you learn your Thai, you say yes and you get it, and then for the rest of your life speaking Thai, you use the word ห้องน้ำอยู่ที่ไหน and ที่ไหน use T for everything. But actually, if you hear Thais speak, they'll use these two words here a lot more. They'll say ห้องน้ำอยู่ตรงไหน at what point ห้องน้ำอยู่ตรงไหน อยู่ตรงซ้ายมือ it's on the left hand side อยู่ตรงขวามือ it's on the right hand side. So they won't necessarily use the word T, or they could just use you at a place. So อยู่โน่น ห้องน้ำอยู่ไหน where is the bathroom. So these two words here, I've put them in because normally you would use the word, you'd learn the word ที่ไหน meaning where. But what I want is to break out of this pattern of thinking there's a one-to-one translation from where. What you're actually saying is place, question word. At what place? Where? ตรง at which ตรง at which location ตรงไหน or you at residing at what spot อยู่ไหน. Don't think of them as just where in English. You can actually mix and match your own meanings there. When you're making these WH words. Now, I'll be putting another module together in how to actually use these and get them into the flow of the sentence. But I'd like you to stop and go through these words one by one until you really get them. And I think it's going to expand the way that you can use them. Let's go through them once more. คนไหน ใคร อันไหน อะไร เท่าไหน เท่าไหร่ อย่างไหน ยังไง ทำไหน or ทำแบบไหน ทำไม เมื่อไหน เมื่อไหร่ ที่ไหน ที่ไหน ตรงไหน ตรงไหน อยู่ไหน อยู่ไหน and you can actually say อยู่ตรงไหน where is it at อยู่ตรงไหน now there's one other word though ไหน is used mainly in central Thai, but there's one word that gets used, and you'll hear it more if you're in Isan or in Chiang Mai, and actually further up north, even into parts of China. So just to finish off this extended Thai bite, have a look at this word here, dai. Can you say it with me? Dai. Now you notice that this is a do, this is the d, and I, it's got the I, this is maimuan, the roly I frame, so do, I, dai, and there are only 20 words in Thai that use this, the roly I, as opposed to this floppy or maimalai, the floppy I. But dai here is basically the same word as, think of it the same as nai, but it's often used in poetic language, and it's actually more common in other dialects in the Northeast, in the North, and in classical Thai, if you go back and read more ancient Thai. But this dai is the question word Thai as well. So you could say เมื่อใด เมื่อใด is the same as เมื่อไหร่ when. There's one other word though that you'll hear if you're traveling up country, and that's this word here. Let me just write that neater here. So we have a พออู this is พออู and then a meito, pool. So the word pool with a falling tone, I want you to think of that meaning the same as the word kon, which means person. So often you will hear the word, so I'll just type it down here. You'll often hear this word, pudai, pudai. Pudai can mean who also. So pudai, pudai ไม่อยากไป which person doesn't want to go? But when you say it, it's kind of got this funny, more classical sound to it. Up country, you'll hear it used as a normal word for who. ผู้ใด ผู้ใดบ่อยากไป or ไผ่ who doesn't want to go. But ผู้ใด, this word ใด is a substitute for the nai word, and you'll probably most often hear it in conjunction with this word ผู้ meaning a person. ผู้ใด who. But most importantly, let's just get back to this list. Now we could probably substitute the word nai with dai. So let's just go through them one last time. คนใด ใคร who. อันใด อะไร what. เท่าใด เท่าไหร่ how much. อย่างใด ยังไง or อย่างไร how. เมื่อใด เมื่อไร when. ที่ใด ที่ไหน or ที่ใด is actually used sometimes, where. And then you have the other ตรงไหน and อยู่ไหน. Those ที่ ตรง อยู่. I really want you to open your ears and start listening to the different usages, and sometimes none of them are used. They'll just say ไหน. That's okay. You don't need a word-to-word translation from English into Thai. So I hope that you have had light shed on these open question words, the WH words we call in English in Thai. Go out, go back over this clip over and over again, learn them, and then go out and start using them as Thais use them. Just try not to use them just like we do in English, because you'll find that you can have a whole new lease on your ability to make meanings, and by thinking of these WH words as a noun plus just a question rather than what, when, why, who, where in English. I'm Stuart J. Raj. This is Thai Bites for Cracking Thai Fundamentals and J Academy. สวัสดีครับ